Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the 53206 cast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Meg.
And Meg.
Yeah.
This is a podcast.
It is.
Meg, this is a podcast specifically designed to help the listener engage in the process of rethinking our inner city spaces. And I like that this is a podcast about that because I don't know. Maybe I'm just different than a lot of people, but
I would think, yeah.
Okay.
You think very differently, which is, I think, why you do such a good job on the podcast.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
At least one person thinks I do a good job. So I know that what we're going to talk about today, I know that it wouldn't be like surprising if you've been a listener for a little while. I know we've got some new listeners, which, we always appreciate new listeners. I always appreciate the downloads. I always appreciate you telling people about the podcast. Mostly because I do think that it is useful for people to understand what areas are like that you may not necessarily interact with on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So when I was telling people, I wrote a book called Bad Neighborhoods, and that you can, by the way, you can get it on Amazon if you want.
You can get it on Amazon, or you can download it on anything like
or
what you're listening to right now. Or
you can just get it on. Yes, the audio version is on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yeah. You are more than welcome to listen to it for free on Spotify.
And I think I've heard a lot of people say, like, they're my friends, but I've heard a lot of people say that like it's you do a good job reading the book.
Good.
Like
I do know how to read.
But you do a good Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were like, yeah, he just does a good job of,
that's nice.
Telling stories. You're a good storyteller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Good. Great to hear some of that feedback.
Yeah, I feel like our kids wouldn't say that, but but some of our friends would.
But the thing where I was going with that was, when I would tell people that I was writing a book or had written a book, and some people would ask me if I tell someone about the podcast, they would ask me if I've ever read the book Evicted.
Sure. Yeah,
right. Yeah. And it's not that you probably, I wouldn't say that you didn't learn anything new from the book Evicted, but the book Evicted is telling some stories about what it's like to have unstable housing and potentially be evicted.
Yeah.
And so if you've never lived through that experience, like reading a book about that was actually kind of a useful thing. Right. Yeah. And so what we're going to talk about today is just, you may on a subconscious level think, yeah, that's probably the way that it is. But what happens a lot of times, Meg, and this is where I was going when I was first started talking, was that sometimes you hear a stat or a statistic, or someone will tell you a truth that exists, but it for whatever reason it doesn't always, you don't always internalize that, or it's like filtered through the person that you're hearing tell you that this thing is true. Yeah. And so then you may question it a little bit. So I'm here to set the record straight.
Okay. All right.
Maybe two things. We'll see if we get to the second thing, but I'm going to set the record straight on the first thing. So when we are in garden season,
community garden,
we utilize the fire hydrants. The fire hydrants are spaced out throughout the city, and the fire department uses the fire hydrant to put a fire out. That's what they're for, right?
That's what they're for, yeah.
So and
community gardens can apply and can pay to be able to have them attach a spigot to it, so that we can utilize them for garden spaces.
Yeah, it's not free, which is fine.
It
doesn't need to be free. It's not free, and so you pay to have basically like your own hose bib, close to your garden space, which is great because you got to water the gardens. I don't know that we have to water them as much as you water them.
Oh my gosh. The more you water, you at least, we're in a dry spell right now. And so you need to water at least twice a week.
Sure.
So if there's
so the kids will water it on Saturdays, and when you tell a 12-year-old, hey, go water this garden bed, they can't be hauling water long distances.
No, they're going to go to the closest one, and they're going to water that same one over and over again.
So we apply for the fire hydrants that are near the gardens, so that the kids can water the garden beds, and then you can set the hose out on a Wednesday, and it can get watered twice a week.
Which was really neat. On Saturday, I actually taught one of the girls she lives 2 houses down how to. Because it's funny, like what you don't like. I'm not a teacher. You clearly would know this, but like like I had asked them, hey, can you put out the hose and put the sprinkler?
Know how to do that.
And like they did it like the hoses weren't actually attached.
Right.
So like there's like stuff coming out everywhere, and I'm like it's just like you just forget, like you need to tell kids exactly what to do. And so now she who lives 2 houses down, I can be like, hey, great, go set it out in 2 hours, set your timer, you know. And I even told her, I was like, we're going to come up with a plan for you, like when you can do this on different days and like how much you'll get paid, because she's not working for, you know, the whole time. But I was very, very excited to teach her how to put out the hose and how to utilize the sprinkler.
Yeah, I don't know how many hoses you keep in the car, but it's a lot of hoses.
4. I keep 4 at all times. But then I have different ones at different garden places too. So
yeah, you got hoses stashed throughout the neighborhood.
I really do. Yeah.
So this isn't the hose podcast. This is so we apply for the fire hydrant usage, and I think we applied for 6.
We applied for 6 fire hydrants.
6 fire hydrants,
different areas.
And you know, I would say that within our community, those 6 fire hydrants are random fire hydrants. They just happen to be near a garden. And so if you were taking like a small, like when I was going to school for math, we would talk about probability and sample size. And if you're trying to estimate, you know, what's the probability that something will happen or not happen, you could pull out a small group and then you can extrapolate that to a larger group. Yeah. And so I don't know that 6 is an appropriate sample size, but it's big enough at least to maybe draw a conclusion. So the process for requesting these hose bibs on the fire hydrants is a little convoluted. You go through another organization who then works with the city, and then there's multiple middlemen inside of it, and so you get like bits and pieces of information that will, like, you know, someone will email you and say this is fine or this is not fine, whatever. So we got an email back saying 3 of the 6 fire hydrants are currently inoperable.
Which one of them has been inoperable since last year.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I don't, well, first off, I think our fire hydrants should be working.
I think it's a service that, you know, the city of Milwaukee should keep running. Yes.
Yeah, and I also understand that things break and that they need to be fixed.
Yeah.
I was a little, you know, you sent me a screenshot of the email that you got back from the other organization saying, well, we can only give you 3 of these because they're not working.
And because I had gone around and I'm like, and I was trying to figure out like what would be our backup to the one that hadn't worked last year.
Sure.
And there was a sign on that one that was a backup that we didn't even apply for, that it said that one was out of service. So I, like, in the back of my mind was like, what is going on with the fire hydrants that, like, there's all these out of service fire hydrants in our neighborhood. You see them like everywhere. Yeah,
exactly. So I think, you know, again, I was kind of prefacing all this with that, you know, you might hear a random person complain that some of the basic functions of a city aren't at the same standard as they would be in other places of the city. And I'm here to tell you, yes, here, for example, we picked 6 random fire hydrants and 3 of them were currently not working.
Or broken. Yeah.
And, you know, 53206 has the most instances of electrical fires in the city. I would assume in the state.
Yeah.
Because I figure, you know, Horicon probably doesn't have.
Horicon Marsh.
Probably doesn't have
it's got a lot
an
of water.
abundance of electrical fires happening.
Marsh.
Maybe it does. I don't know. But you get 100-year-old houses with old wiring, and that's what happens. You get an electrical fire. So I was a little concerned, considering one of the fire hydrants would be the one that the fire department would use for 5 of the houses we own.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, that's not a great, that's a somewhat of a precarious position to be in. Not that I think that our houses are going to burn down, but if they were, which is why they're there.
And the school.
Yeah. And so, I wanted to touch on that because, I mean, that is we talked, how many podcast episodes did we do about the streetlights?
Well,
many.
And that's what I wanted to say. I mean, for so long, we were trying to get the streetlights, you know, trying to get even a plan in place because the streetlights were going out every other day.
Yeah.
And they finally have a plan, but the plan is like, I think in 2027, our streetlights will be working.
Well, they've been working better.
They have been working better.
Yeah, I would say that the level to which they're working now is acceptable.
In specifically on 8th Street.
On our street, correct.
Yeah, on 10th Street it is not the same.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But in our, and our streetlights aren't more important than the ones on 10th Street, which aren't more important than the ones on the east side or downtown or wherever. They're just the ones that I see all the time.
Yeah.
I look out the window and the streetlight is on.
Yeah.
I pull up in front of the house. Oh, it's not dark.
Yeah.
I'm used to it being dark.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the things, and I guess we do have time to get to the second thing. So we use our home. Our home is the mailing address for We Got This.
Yes.
And so we receive and actually, I don't we don't really talk too much about some of the financial aspects of We Got This, but if somebody were to donate, for example, and one of the things that I've noticed a lot, and I really, really appreciate this, is that it seems like we're getting more and more individuals who, out of their nest egg, their net worth. I listen to all these retirement people talk.
You're big into numbers, yes.
I just want to know what to prepare for
yes.
when I'm older than I am now.
Sure.
And so, someday, Meg, I'll be older.
Yes.
I think, and I'll want to retire. And so I would like to, have some thoughts about what I would want that to be like, because I know if you don't plan for your retirement, then you're
planning to fail. If you don't, if you don't plan to, what does Taylor Swift say? If you don't plan to, whatever.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Thank you, Taylor Swift. Yes.
So yes, I would be in that same mindset. And okay, if I want to work some more years and then not work some of the time, what do I want to do with that, and how do I want to live? Anyways, whatever. But I've been noticing that we get checks in the mail. Not when I say we, I mean We Got This gets checks in the mail from like their charitable funds that people have set up as a part of their retirement.
Yeah.
They have X number of dollars, and they likely give away a percentage of that every year, and so we've been receiving some of those checks.
Yeah.
And it's the whole reason why we started talking about this, Meg, was because someone will initiate that action, call Fidelity, and Fidelity, or email Fidelity, or you probably do it on the internet now, but
sure.
they get a hold of Fidelity,
sure,
and they say, send $500 to We Got This. Okay. And the person will, because they're good with their money and they pay attention, they will want to make sure that money goes to We Got This, right? Like they tell Fidelity, do this.
Yeah.
I'm sure Fidelity tells them, we wrote the check.
Yeah.
And then they just want to likely see, in some capacity, that the check has gone into a bank.
Or they will contact us and say, hey, we see that you didn't cash this check.
Right.
It was sent out in August. What happened?
Yes. And so one of the things that, and again, this is just like on the theme, and I try to be very careful about the way that I talk about these things, because there isn't a single person in the Department of Public Works that I don't like. I've never met a water employee that I don't like.
The mail people, they're all great.
And so we started talking about these things coming in the mail because it's happened often enough where a check is dated for...
There was literally one that was dated August, and it came in April.
Yeah. And so, there's... Yeah, normally what does it take, like 3 days to send?
Or there was just like a church that contacted us, and they just have to reissue it because they sent it in January. Yeah,
and it has, and Meg, you and I aren't, we're very organized in some things.
Yeah.
And I think because we are so organized in some of the areas of our life, we could be disorganized in other areas.
Yeah.
Like the kitchen that we're staring at right now.
Yes.
But for the stuff for the garden, I would say that we're very organized because somebody writes a check. Like it should go to the garden. So we take that.
I also run my own business, and I also have checks coming, and I also have had to go back and I mean, it's funny. I feel like we've talked about mail before because I used to so I've run my business for 13 years, and there's several times where I have had to say, hey, I didn't receive the check. Can you reissue it? I'm sorry that my mail sometimes loses. My mail just sometimes gets lost. And I used to have a really hard time with that because I feel like it's just such a negative look on our neighborhood. And so I feel like I don't want anyone to look poorly on our neighborhood. So I used to actually have a very hard time writing that email. I've just gotten used to it enough that it's just something I do.
Well, and the thing that I wanted to bring up in this conversation was that multiple times people have pushed back.
Yeah.
And said that's not pushed back that it is that the check is sitting at a post office or is not that could be the case, that to say that we'd lost it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And inevitably these things they show up a month later, 2 months later. And so, I don't know if, I like our post office. I don't have anything bad to say about the post office, but I will say that a basic function of, in our society would be like, I can send someone a letter and they'll get the letter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember like one time we got like a Christmas card and it was like it was like Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Hey, that's fine. Like, it's nice. Hey, maybe we should just send Christmas cards throughout the year because it is always nice to get a Christmas card. So I mean, it was nice to get it, but it was February. I think we still had all the Christmas cards up, so we just
I do like keeping the Christmas cards up for a while.
Threw it on on the Christmas card board, but I do think it's important to continue to remind people that some of the basic functions do not function at the same level that they do in other places. Now, that's not to say that that's always the case or that it's 100%. I don't think that anyone is doing it in a malicious way to punish the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I would say, it's probably harder to live. When we started talking about this, Meg and I, we had this idea to talk about the post office. I was having flashbacks to being like 10, and when you're 10, so my birthday is August 4th. And, you probably this was back when you would get like, I don't know, you get like 4 or 5 birthday cards.
Sure.
In the
Your
mail,
grandma
right?
would send them. Yeah.
So
Your aunt would send them.
It's August 1st.
Sure. Aunt Linda's sending one.
Probably.
She's so great. Yeah.
Probably. Whatever. So, you get a Christmas card or not Christmas, birthday card in the mail.
Yeah.
And so like a couple days before your birthday, you're like, I should probably let's go see if the mail came.
Yeah.
And our mail didn't come to the house. It came to it was like maybe 8 mailboxes that were like the mailboxes for the people. Maybe it wasn't 8, but enough. Like it was a row of mailboxes.
Okay.
You had your own mailbox.
Sure, yeah.
But so you had to walk across the street.
So mine was like individual. It would like in Middleton, it would come to every house, and it would like the guy would just put it. He'd be driving on the wrong side of the street and put it in your mailbox. Yeah.
Right. So I remember the lady would, she'd pull up in the little mail truck and do all the mailboxes. Yeah. And I, would remember like, okay, I'm like 10, it's August 1st, or maybe I'm turning 10. Like, I should probably go out and go out and check. And I can see what the lady looked like in my head, what our mail carrier looked like. And I can remember that we had the same one for a long time.
Yeah.
We had the same consistent mail carrier for years and years, August 1st every year going out to check them, whatever. But, I say that because I know that we have had dozens of different mail carriers and likely because it's slightly more challenging in our neighborhood to deliver the mail.
Because we have a mail slot on our door.
Yep.
So you have to go up all the steps.
Got to go all the way up to the house.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
With a number of vacant buildings. Yeah. That vacant buildings don't always have stairs. Steps are broken. And sometimes our step is broken. But it's more challenging. You have to walk the entire thing. Yeah. So it's more challenging. So I understand if you can get a route where you can probably drive the car. Yeah. It's probably a little better. Yeah. And so I get it. I get why that happens. Why we get people cycling.
But
in and
again,
out.
I feel like there's a lot of places in Milwaukee that are very similar to ours, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bayview has had the same. People in Bayview have had the same mail carriers.
There's probably less big dogs. Big scary dogs.
Yeah.
But all of that is, I again, and you can't like, I don't stay up at night thinking mean thoughts about the postmaster general or like the person in charge of the post office.
No.
I don't really care. I mean, I'm sure they're fine. Just like the water people, I'm sure they're fine. Just like the streetlight guy, he's probably fine.
Yeah. They're all just individual people who are doing, they're doing their work. So yeah, they're fine.
Now, all of that being said, I do think that it is useful to bring these things up, because I think in an ideal world, the poor community would have as good or even maybe slightly better services than the communities that aren't as highly concentrated with individuals living in poverty. And I think that if people know that, then at least there can be some empathy towards being in that type of situation.
Well, and something else I wanted to bring up was, I mean, I'm sure you've all heard that, people, especially like people in our neighborhoods, they don't trust the city for a lot.
Right.
And I think like this gives you just some background as to like, there's so many different things that happen in our neighborhood that like don't work as well as they do outside of our neighborhood. It's another helpful piece for you just to understand, like, yeah, this is also annoying. Like, I didn't get my mail. And, like we had a woman that she, during like the Snap, when Snap got discontinued, she got like something happened where like she needed she lost her card or something. So she needed the card to be resent to her. And it was like 2 months of like, it just wasn't sent. And like, she ended up going down, and it was really bad for her, 'cause she has 2 kids, and then she was caring for her siblings, 2 of her siblings. So, it's just a lot. And it's like, when like systems continue just to not work for you over and over again, and you're like, this, that this would work somewhere else. You just don't, I wouldn't want to trust anything.
Well, and I think maybe if you were to synthesize it down a little bit, is that you can't always count on the things that you should be able to count on. Here. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the solution is. Yeah. But I do think that it's useful to bring that up and just provide at least 2 examples in this instance of things that don't really work as well as they probably should. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. Meg, it is garden season. It's getting warm out.
It is.
I haven't been wearing 2 sweatshirts every day. I'm down to 1. Yeah. You got anything you want to plug?
I mean, I feel like I want to plug, just really go to WeGotThisMKE.com and just see what's going on there. There's a few different, we have an Amazon wish list. There's you can purchase lunches for the kids. There's like a donation area where you can purchase lunches for the kids. There's plants that you can donate. There's just a lot going on at the beginning of garden season, and we'd love for you all to be a part of it. A lot of you already are, so thank you. And we've gotten a lot of plants purchased from Weber's Garden. So that's wonderful. And yeah, it's an exciting time to just be in the know of what's going on with We Got This, because soon enough, 100 plus kids are going to be coming out on a Saturday to, get employed to make their neighborhood better. And yeah, we just want you to be a part of it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.